foreign exchange is malaki yung nagiging effect niya on a particular activities kasi dalawa yung naaapektuhan niya. It's both your parehas ng yung iyong OCI or other comprehensive income, and then also naaapektuhan niya din yung profit and loss mo, which is yung net income mo or yung iyong mismo statement of financial position. So, dalawa kasi yan. It's either it affects your purchases or your sale, and then yung pangalawa naman is naaapektuhan niya yung value ng asset mo. Kasi once nagkaroon ng changes doon sa iyong asset or purchase of asset, ang nangyayari is that may idadagdag natin siya changes in foreign exchange doon sa acquisition cost mo. So it will be part of your purchase cost. Again, it will be part of your purchase cost, yung forex mo. Okay? So, you have to remember about it. So, ano ba yung common problems na mai-encounter natin when we do forex? Okay? Ano ba yung pinaka-pinangangambahan or details ng forex kay accounting? Unang-una, we know how we will recognize it. Okay? Hindi natin alam kung sorry. So, we will not be able to know which forex or the exchange rate or ano yung galaw ng exchange rate. Hindi natin alam kung alin yung gagamitin natin. Are we going to use the initial rate during the meeting of minds? Or are we going to use the subsequent rate during the middle or the sa pagta-transport or sa date of transport of the asset? Or pwede naman na ang gamitin nating exchange rate will be kapag dumating na sa iyo yung product. Okay? Yun yung pangatlo. Pwede din yung pang-apat on the payment itself or sa date of payment. Yun yung gagamitin natin as the recognition ng ating forex. Okay? Also, ano yung magiging or how to report the effects of changes in exchange rate? Paano natin siya i-report? Saan bang financial statement siya nakaka-apekto? Would it affect your OCI? Would it affect your SCI? Would it affect your statement of financial position? Would be additional expense to you? And so on and so forth. Kasi syempre kapag nagkaroon ng additional cost pagdating sa iyong asset, basically that's your acquisition cost and that will be part of your asset. Okay? So you have to remember about it. That is the two major accounting issues na hinaharap natin when we do forex. So ang forex kasi pwede natin siyang magamit in two ways. Okay? The first one would be the currency transactions. Ano yung currency transactions? Yes, Nak? Naka-record ka na. Ay, hindi ako naka-record. Wait lang.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so asa na nga ako? So there are two ways on recognizing your forex. Yung una nating recognition sa kanya or yung first way on conducting a foreign activities is the foreign currency transactions, importing and exporting products. Okay, pwedeng kumukuha ka ng raw materials from China, pwedeng kumukuha ka ng mga goods mo from Vietnam, from Thailand. So, pwede ding nagpapadala ka ng mga raw materials such as sugars, rice, doon sa particular na lugar. Okay? So, those are the examples. Next, meron naman tayong tinatawag na foreign operations. What do you mean by foreign operations? Basically, your mother company is in the Philippines, yet you have other branches or you do operations in other countries. Again, you have the mother company here in the Philippines, and yet you do have other branches or other operations in other countries. What are the best example for this? Jollibees. Okay? Yung Jollibees nag-ooperate sila outside the Philippines. They have other branches in the Philippines. Pero di ba, since iba yung currency na ginagamit sa ibang bansa, pagdating dito sa Philippines, iba din yung computation sa kanya. So, it affects yung exchange of amount for a particular amount ay nag-iiba based doon sa normal course or sa common na ginagamit natin na rate. So, for example, dito sa Philippines, you are a Filipino company. Ano ba yung masusundin mo? Gagamitin ba natin yung US dollars or are we going to use pesos? Kapag yung company mo is based talaga siya or nakatayo siya dito sa Philippines but it is an international company, you will be using the currency of your country or dun sa dun sa bansang pinagmulan mo. But if you are originated here in the Philippines, again, if you are originated in the Philippines and yet you are a type of business that is created in the Philippines and under the law of the Philippines, ang gagamitin mo is of course peso. What if meron kang mga transactions na importations and exportations? Ano ang gagamitin mo? Or meron kang mga investments na outside the countries and kumikita siya ng dollars, anong gagawin mo? Basically, ita-transport natin siya or magkakaroon ng transformation or exchange of rates on your financial statements. At ang gagamitin natin is the peso one. Okay, so yun yung introduction ng ating Forex. So sa Forex kasi, tatandaan ninyo na when we do Forex, meron tayong tinatawag na spot exchange. Yung spot exchange, it is the rate ng mismong araw na ginawa natin yung transaction. Next, pangalawa, it is also important that you should know what is the date of transaction and what was the contract all about or how the contract goes. For example, si Bitug. Si Bitug, nag-purchase siya ng inventories. Based on the contract, ang gagamitin nilang exchange rate or the rate is kapag na-receive na ni Bitug yung product sa Philippines, kung magkano yung rate ng araw na yon, yun yung katumbas ng $20 mo. Or yun yung full amount in peso that you will be paid your client. So for example, ang halaga ng $28 sa pesos is around 58 times 20,000. You use your calculator. 1,150,000. So that is the spot rate during dun sa contract na yon. But pwede din naman ang gamitin or ang sabihin ng ka-business partner ni V2, part of the 5,000 pesos or $20,000, yung 5,000, you have to pay it after the signing of the contract. Halimbawa, January 1, nagkaroon kayo ng signing of contracts. And then, ang palitan ng pesos to dollar is 60 pesos. So, 5,000 times 60 pesos, that's 300. Tama ba? 300,000?
300,000.
So, 300,000. And then, the rest, or the other 5 will be paid after you receive the products. During the time that would be, sabi natin January 15. On January 15, ang exchange rate, 58 pesos. 58 pesos. Magkano yan? 58 times 5,000.
290,000.
290,000. And then after that, yung remaining $10,000 mo will be paid after 30 days. After 30 days, umalo or tumaas yung exchange rate natin by 60 pesos. 62 pesos. 62 times 10,000. So, 620.
620 po.
620 plus 190. 190 nga ba? Tama ba? Or 290?
290, ma'am.
60. 620 plus 290 plus 300.
1,210,000.
1,200,000.
1,210,000. Magkano yung first year natin, first payment natin? That is 60 pesos yung exchange rate. So, 20,000 times 60.
120,000 po.
1.2. So, alin yung mas mataas?
1.2.
Uy,
Wait.
1.210 yan ah.
Ay, hindi ma'am. Mas mataas yung 1.210.
So, because of the exchange rate, nagkaroon ng difference na 10,000. Tama? Nagkaroon ng, which is, that is already your losses. Bakit? Kasi nagmahal yung produkto na kinuha mo eh. Or yung pinurchase ni B2.
Dahil dun sa pagbabago ng
Exchange rate. That is additional cost for you. Diba kaya nga yung raw materials natin kapag sa cost accounting, if we are costing, laging yung raw materials natin ano siya, variable cost. Right? So, that is the difference. Or nagkakaroon siya ng differentiation depending on how much yung exchange rate. Now, alin yung inire-record sa SEI? Alin yung nire-record sa OCI? Ang nire-record sa SEI kapag mga monetary siya. Ano ba yung under sa monetary? Number 1, cash. Number 2, cash equivalents. Number 3, accounts receivables. Number 4, accounts payables. Notes payables, notes receivables, loans payables, bonds payables, bonds receivables, and so on and so forth. Paano naman yung non-monetary? Under siya ng OCI. Now, the question, ano yung meron tayo kanina? Nag-purchase tayo ng inventories. Nag-purchase tayo ng inventories. Yung 5,000, yung 5,000, yung another 5,000, 10,000. Now, yung 10,000 na difference, saan siya mapupunta? SEI, OCI?
SEI.
OCI.
OCI, SEI?
SEI, ma'am. SEI.
SEI, ma'am, non-monetary kasi inventory yun eh.
Sure ka? What would be the entry? What would be the entry if you purchase an inventory?
Inventories, ma'am. Inventories, tapos lalabas cash. Inventory, debit, tapos
Charge yung credit.
Yun lang ba? Anong entry mo? Kasi yung isa nag-down payment ka and then the remaining will be paid
Liability,
month.
accounts payable yung
Accounts payable. So, yung sa inventories, non-monetary siya. Under siya ng OCI. And then lalagyan mo lang siya ng notes. And then afterwards, magkakaroon ka ng ano magdadagdag sa'yo?
Ano po yung OCI sa SEI? Sorry, ma'am, di ko rin kasi.
SEI is Statement of Comprehensive Income.
Okay. Ang OCI, ma'am.
Other comprehensive income.
Mama, ano po pinagkaiba?
Yung isa kasi, it is not directly on the operation. Direct on the operation. Again, the SEI direct siya sa operations. Yung OCI hindi siya directly nakaka-affect sa operations at yung kinikita mo doon hindi dahil sa operations. Finance and operations. Kumbaga, it came from investments on other businesses. Okay? So, yun si OCI. Sa SEI, kapag direct operations and finances. Okay? So, yun yung pinagkaiba nilang dalawa. Now, wala ako dun sa sinasabi ko kanina. Di ba meron kang payable? May payable ka. Naglabas ka din ng cash. So, basically, i-record mo din siya under SEI. Meron kang magiging losses doon. Or i-recognize mo siya as additional expense. Okay? At kapag may additional expense ka dahil operations yan, at hindi ka naman makakabuo ng product without your raw materials or your inventories. So, ibig sabihin, additional expense, and that directly affects your income. So, sa SEI siya, papasok. Okay? Yung sa OCI, again, yung inventories mo. Right? Now, let's have an example computation here. Ay, hindi siya. Hindi ito. Wait lang. Nakakasunod ka ba? Baka mamaya nahihilo ka na. Hindi mo na alam kung anong pupuntahan mo. Mamaya nahihilo ka na. Sabihin mo lang. Nakakasunod ka pa ba?
Ma'am, medyo nakakalito lang yung sa kanina kasi 'di ba? Yung base sa example natin kanina, mas mataas yung 1 to 10, which is yun yung nabenta dun sa inventory. Pero kung
Sa part kasi tayo ni Bitug. Sa part tayo ni Bitug, nag-purchase ka kasi ng inventory. Diba? Kapag nag-purchase ka ng inventory, mas malaking costing para sa expense mo sa operations yun eh. Napasok siya sa cost of goods sold mo eh. Diba? Pasok siya sa cost of goods sold mo.
so yung ma'am yung 10,000 na difference kanina sa ano po yung mapupunta expenses
At
talaga.
ang tawag doon is foreign exchange difference.
Oo.
Again, that is what you call foreign exchange difference. Wendell, okay ka ba? Bakit ngumingiti ka na lang?
Ma'am, kung nag-team tayo, ma'am, anong magiging account title po nun? Foreign
Additional
exchange.
that would be on your SCI, OCI. Okay? And then, additional,
I mean, wala siyang account title na para pang ano, ma'am?
journal entry.
Apo.
Pwede
Diba kung-
pwede siyang cash and then, discounts.
Okay po.
Oo.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Pero, i-double check ko yan. Itatanong ko dun sa friend ko
Pagka
para clear din.
ang debit, inventory, tapos foreign exchange difference,
Wala pa dun. Hindi mo pa siya ilalagay dun. Kasi journal entry mo lang man dyan, entries mo, and then, of course, you have your cash and accounts payable if you purchase. If, kapag nag-purchase ka. And then, for ano na lang yun eh, yung losses, that be your adjusting entries.
sheet na sa general sheet pala yun, ma'am.
Yeah. Sa adjusting entries na siya. Uy, magtanong ha. kung
Unadjusted,
yun ako
tapos,
kuha,
yeah, sa adjusting. Okay, ma'am.
Oo.
Ito, Miss, ina-answer ko
Bitug.
yung question mo. So, ano siya, Miss? OCI, SCI?
Which one?
Yung, ano
If
po,
you're
yung forex
under,
loss.
OCI. Ay,
OCI.
OCI.
So tama yung suggested ko doon sa comment comment ko kanina. Entry niya OCI pero as payable.
Yeah, ay hindi. Wait lang. Wait lang ha. SCI siya. SCI kapag yung losses na.
Okay.
SCI, SCI. Kasi, i-add mo siya as your expense. Ano, Wendell? Okay ba? O, huwag na nating sama to sa exam.
Oh, di ba na yung true or false?
Computation na lang.
Yung iba, bakit parang ang tahimik na?
Computation na lang, ma'am.
Pwede bang
Ang
computation
club na
na lang, ma'am?
Ma'am,
Maybe,
huli po that.
promise, madali lang yung true or false. Kayong kabahan. Okay. From the top daw, sabi nila. Nakban, ano? Recording naman ako. Okay, balikan nyo na lang. O, punta tayo dito. May
True mo
story
naman
akong
dito kalabangas din.
No.
Puro na, ma'am.
Oh, talaga ba?
Yung computations.
Congrats. Okay. So, an entity purchased inventory worth so US dollars yan, or na-purchase siya noong December 2, 2000. December 2, 2020. Tapos, nabili siya ng $20. Okay, $20,000. Isa-settle siya ng January 11. Now, compute natin siya. Unahin natin yung sa spot exchange. Spot exchange nung 12-02. Magkano siya? 20,000 times this one. 58.
1,160,000.
How much?
1 million